All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to public comments. This is time of the meeting where public can have 5 minutes to talk about non-agenda items. Is there anyone from the public that's not on the agenda that would like to have this time? Go right ahead, sir.
Lori Roby's coming to present on my behalf. She is running late due to a traffic accident, so she may or may not be here on time.
Okay, she's actually at D2 right now. Do we want to move her down to give her more time?
Well, when we get to D2, she's not here. Can we go to D3 and D4 if necessary?
Yes, we can certainly do that.
Thank you.
All right, hearing nothing else, we'll go to new business. Alex, you're up. Presentation of the city audit.
Okay, I think I know most of you guys, but my name's Alex Mitty with Adams Brown. I'm your guys' auditor. I brought Logan with me today. She's our student worker, so she's just here to see how these meetings work. So there should be a letter inside your guys' bound audit report, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. It's got the April 9th on the top. This is kind of our recommendation letter to you guys as the management governance of the city. So here on this first page, there's not a lot. The second to last paragraph, if we had any unusual difficulties encountered while performing the audit, we would note those there. We didn't have any of those, so you won't see anything there. The last page or last paragraph on this page just says that there was some journal entries that we had to make to get from what your guys' QuickBooks file was to what these financials are that we're going to see today. So those were mainly encumbrances. I think we made a little entry to fix some payroll liabilities, and there was a reclass of some special assessments. There's just a little bit that got in the wrong fund. So we got those entries made, and your guys already recorded in QuickBooks, so you're all good there now. Then on the next page there at the top, if we had any disagreements with management with you guys in performing this audit, we would note those there. There was no disagreement, so you won't see anything there. Kind of the same thing with the other audit findings and issues paragraph. If there was anything else we wanted to communicate that didn't fit in any other paragraphs, we would put that there. There was nothing unusual, so you won't see anything there. Then for the information technology section, this just talks about the importance of keeping an eye on cybersecurity, IT stuff in today's day and age. It is important, talks about some information security governance, kind of talks about some of the stuff we can potentially do if you guys ever need it. It's kind of limited. We do have an IT team, but we can't do a whole lot because we have to keep our independence. But it does kind of go through some of the vulnerability testing, some of that kind of stuff if you were to ever need it. I don't know that you need it now, but just something you guys can keep in mind in case it ever comes up. Then the internal controls section is going to be where we talk about significant deficiencies and material weaknesses. So on the second page, we're going to start with the one material weakness that we found, which is going to be that there was unrecorded encumbrances that we had to make an entry for to record. So this was almost entirely going to be the swimming pool. So since you guys approved that swimming pool in 2025, we go ahead and book the encumbrance and record all the expenses in 2025, even though some of those didn't get paid until 26. And then when you make the payments in 26, we just reduce down the encumbrance. And we do that just since it's already approved. You guys are basically on the hook for it, so that project's going to happen regardless. We want to show the expenses now. It kind of helps with tracking cash balances. So that's all that one was. And then the only significant deficiency that we noted, which is just something that's less than a material weakness, but still something we want to put in writing, some sort of finding there. It's just going to be the lack of segregation of duties. That's the same one you guys see every year just because you guys have two people running the entire city, basically, accounting functions of the city. So you just don't have enough manpower to separate out the accounting duties. So that's all that is there. So then on the bound report, if you go a few pages in, you'll find page 1, and it's going to say Independent Auditor's Report at the top. So this is going to be the actual audit report. What you guys are really going to care about is going to be that third paragraph where it says unmodified opinion on the regulatory basis of accounting. That's going to be the best opinion we can give you guys on this audit, and it basically just says that we believe that the financial statements we're going to look at are presented fairly in all material respects and that the cash balances are accurate as of the end of 2025. So that's good there. Then the next paragraph is just kind of legal jargon about how the basis for that opinion comes to be. Page 2 talks about at the top your guys' responsibilities as management throughout the audit, and the next paragraph talks about our responsibilities as auditors throughout the audit. And then finally on page 3 of the audit report, it just talks about the supplementary information. So it just says that there is some schedules that we included because you guys are on the KMAG basis of accounting. So that's extra information that's not normal for financials. And then it also says that we did your guys' prior year audit, and gives that link to the state of Kansas website where that can be found. So that's the audit report. And continuing on, page 4 is going to be your main financial statement. So that's the summary statement of receipts, expenditures, and unencumbered cash. So how this works is you can see by individual fund and then the total for the entire city, what your guys' beginning cash balance was, what your total receipts were, your total expenditures were, then what your ending cash balance was. Then we go ahead and adjust those for the encumbrances and accounts payable, and that gets us to the ending cash balance, which ties to what you guys have in the bank. And then there at the bottom, you can see your composition of cash, so that just shows the breakout of what you have in checking accounts, savings accounts, and CDs. So just your different kind of bank accounts, basically. So overall, as a city, you guys started the year about $928,000. Actually, it was even, which is kind of unusual. At the end of the year, you guys were up to about $1,047,000. So you guys actually built about $120,000 of cash overall for the city throughout the year. So that was good. And then some of the individual funds I was going to point out, you'll kind of see the last 2 special purpose funds is going to be the swimming pool sales tax fund. That's that new half-cent per sales tax that you guys passed. And then the next one's going to be that general purpose sales tax, which is the 1% sales tax that you guys passed. So we split those out since that 0.5% was good for, I think it's 10 years maybe. However long, it's X number of years, and then the 1% is good, it's like indefinitely good until you guys decide otherwise. So that's why those go to 2 separate funds. And that 0.5% one then will be where you guys start making your payments out of the pool, and then when that doesn't have enough cash, you'll move on to the 1%, and then hopefully those cover it for a while, but if not, that's when then you have to start looking at general fund or elsewhere. But you'll see general fund was pretty steady. It only went up about $20,000, so it held pretty consistent. Employee benefit fund built $35,000 of cash. I'll touch on that here in a little bit more, but I think that might be something on the budget where we might want to consider maybe just moving some of the mill rate from employee benefit to general fund, just to give you guys more flexibility. And then if we need to increase the mills back in that fund down the road, we can. But at least while you have enough cash in there, that might be a way to give you guys the ability to spend it more where it's pretty restricted, where it's currently at in employee benefit fund. Most of the others are pretty consistent. You'll see that capital project fund, that's where we actually had to track the construction of the swimming pool. So you can see that's the bond proceeds coming in, and then it's the construction and the encumbrance recorded going out. And then you can see that utility fund 2 went down about $10,000, but I think it would have been a lot worse without it. And I think that's because your utility increases didn't take effect until August, I think it was. So it actually kind of steadied the ship, and I think it'll probably be steady or go up even in 26, hopefully. So that's kind of where you're at on your funds. Continuing on, page 5 is where we start the notes to the financials. This page really doesn't change at all from the prior years. It just says you guys are basis presentations, the fund accounting, and it kind of defines what the fund types are. And then again, it talks about the basis of accounting's K-MAG, so instead of using United States GAAP accounting principles, we use the state-specific one for municipalities. So no changes there. Page 6 is basically the exact same as prior years too. Note 2 talks about the budget timeline and how the budget process works in the state of Kansas. And since that's been the same, didn't change at all for the 25 audit year, there isn't any changes there. Page 7, note 3 talks about cash. And again, this note's basically the same as prior years too. The one thing I'd like to point out is that second to last paragraph on this page. We do show where your carrying amount of deposits, which is your book balance, was about a little over $2 million. $2,092,000. The bank balance was $2,095,000. The difference there is going to be any outstanding items, so any checks or deposits that were recorded in QuickBooks but hadn't cleared the bank yet. And then of that bank balance, $250,000 was covered by federal FDIC insurance, and the remaining cash balance was collateralized with pledged securities. So there was no cash violations to note there. So that was good there. Page 8, if you want to see what the transfers were that were made for the year, we schedule out those transfers there. It's just kind of right in line with what we had budgeted. Note 6 is a new one for the capital projects. So that's just kind of where we track what you guys have approved for the swimming pool. And then we show, since we looked at encumbrance, that the entire $1.7 million has already been recorded as expenses. Note 7 just notes that you guys did participate in KCANT, that risk management pool for your insurance. And continuing on, page 9, note 9, talks about capers, so the state retirement. The big thing here is that final paragraph before net pension liability. We just show that the current contribution for the city this year was 9.71%, which is set by the state. and that amounted to about $14,000 in employer contributions to retirement. Then page 10 didn't really change. Note 11 highlights your guys' PTO policy like it always has. Note 12 and note 13 talks about debt, which you guys, the one new thing is going to be on note 14. We note the new general obligation sales tax bond for the pool. So I did go ahead and add that there since that's a new debt issuance. Then note 12 just notes that you guys had finance leases. And finally, if you get to page 13, it's going to be your actual debt schedule. So this is where you can see by debt issuance what all you guys had and broken out by obligation bonds, sales tax bonds, KDHE loans, and finance leases. And you can see the only change, the only new debt issuance was your sales tax or your swimming pool bond. And then all your payments, you made about 112,000 payments on the rest of the debt issuances. And then obviously your balance overall went way up on debt because of the swimming pool. And then down at the bottom, you can see what your future debt payments are in the next 5 years, and then in groups of 5 after that through maturity. I did just want to remind you guys in 2029, it's going to look crazy because it shows the entire $1.5 million of that swimming pool bond, which I think is when you guys were going to evaluate how much of it maybe you can pay off and then figure out a refinancing option then to spread out the rest in a new bond. So that's why that kind of looks funky there. Then page 14 is going to be your budget variance. So this is where we took a look at your expenditures by fund. We compare them to what your authorized certified budget was. And then on the far right here, we show the variance. So negative here is good. That means you were under budget. So there's no budget violations to note there. Then page 15 on is going to be your individual fund statements. I'm not going to go too in depth here. Most of these are pretty consistent, so there's not really much to point out, I don't think, on general fund. You did build $25,000 of cash in that fund, so you were building money there, so that was good. Employee benefit fund here, so that's where I was going to show you here a little bit more in detail. So you had $65,000 in tax revenue and receipts, and you only had $30,000 of expenditures. And it seems like your expenditures have been pretty steady, so as long as you don't think those are going to go up big time in the future, that's where I was thinking maybe if we maneuvered some of the mills from this fund to general fund, then we can keep your mills basically flat, but we can get you more spending power in general where you can actually use it instead of just building cash and employee benefit where it's pretty restricted for only employee benefits. So that's something to think about as we do the budget here in June, July at least. Then special highway was real consistent, built up a little bit of cash there for future street road projects. Same thing with street improvement, built a little bit of cash there. ARPA fund went away last year, got zeroed out, so it's only there for comparison purposes. Then capital improvement fund on page 21, you'll see that big contractual amount, that's the remaining part of the swimming pool project that was in excess of what the bond proceeds were. So that's where we paid for the rest of that at. Then the next page, page 22, you can just see where you started getting that sales tax in on your 0.5%. Then the next page is where you started getting the sales tax in on the 1%. So that's where here in the future you'll start seeing bond payments go out of those two funds, at least for the interest portion. Page 24 is that actual swimming pool project fund, so you can just see we booked the bond proceeds, and then we show the construction expenses and the cost of issuance, which is just the fees you paid to get the debt. So that's swimming pool project. Bond and interest fund was pretty steady. I think you're sitting in a pretty good spot there. Then last but not least is going to be your utility fund. So here's where you can see you went down about $10,000, but your charges for services were actually up. And I think they'll be up even more this year with a full year of the utility rate. So I think you'll hopefully start seeing that fund be steady or maybe even go up just slightly. So hopefully we'll stop bleeding cash here this year. So I think that'll be in a lot better shape moving forward. Because your expenditures have been pretty steady in that fund, so the extra revenue should stop the cash from going down. So, and that's pretty much it. Utility reserve fund's just that transfer in like always. So that's the audit. Everything looked pretty good. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I don't personally.
Nothing. You don't have to approve it tonight. I normally like for you guys to approve it before we submit it to the state. But if you want more time to look at it, you can. Or if you approve it tonight, we can submit it tomorrow.
It's up to you guys.
I move that we approve the 2025 audit, city audit.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
Cool. That's all I need from you guys. The only other thing I was just gonna say is it's already April, so June, July, when we start the budget's gonna be here before we know it. So now's the time to start thinking what you wanna do, if you wanna see anything different in the budget, compared to what it's been in prior years. If you're wanting to stay revenue neutral, if you wanna keep your mill where it is, it'll probably exceed it a little bit, that kind of stuff. There is some potential laws going on in Topeka right now that could impact the budget, but I think the governor just vetoed the one that was passed, and as far as I know, it didn't have enough support to override a veto, at least the first time around. So who knows what's gonna happen when they start meeting again tomorrow in their veto override session, but that'll be something to keep an eye on, at least if there is any change to the budget laws, but
Absolutely.
we'll let you know. They'll keep us, we have a budget workshop we go to here in May, so they'll update us on anything that happens, if anything happens the next week or two, so.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Appreciate your time.
Yep.
Are you Lori? You weren't in the accident, were you?
No,
Okay.
I just was upon the accident.
You were just
And then I
involved
ran
in the,
and saw a deer,
oh, gotcha.
and then a tractor in front of me too, so.
Fun
Just the
time.
laws, yeah.
Fun times.
Exactly.
Well, you are D2, so
Okay.
you are up.
Perfect, so, well, thank you for your time this evening. Hopefully everybody had a chance to review the information that I had sent. So I'm here on behalf of the Carol Freewitt Trust, and so what we were just visiting about is that I have been in contact with Greg Webster and reviewed the Potawatomi County zoning regulations, and with a discussion with him, he asked to come to the city of Westmoreland to kind of discuss that as well, and just see about the possibility. It would not be city of Westmoreland responsibility, it would be a developer. So as I shared with you, provided the quarter map as well as a map that I had created about a division. We also went ahead and expanded that division that I had not sent you, that we just recently did, that the 77 acres could, oh, very good, okay,
Yeah.
that one did come through.
Perfect.
So with that is that on that mapping is that what we were just proposing is that when we do auctions, we like to do multi-parcel properties. And so with that is just that offering. It may not go that way, it may sell all as one. But right now, that is considered as ag zoning, and Mike will go ahead and continue to keep that where the 17 acres is. That may adjust a little bit there, but it'll probably be about 155 acres that would stay as ag side, and then a proposal of possibly that 77 acres turning into development property. It could be 3 to 20 acre tracts, and it could be a further division of, like I mentioned there, the 29, 24, and 24 acre tracts. Kind of dependent on what the city interest is. If you're interested in the possibility of annexation, then it could turn into just a 77 acre piece, or it could be divided into those smaller ones too. And then go ahead and utilize that in a couple different manners, that there could be more than 2 houses on each of those tracts, or it could be a small subdivision there. So totally dependent on what a developer would want to do there, but the property, like I said, could be sold as multi-parcel, and that was just the reason why I wanted the opportunity to be able to do that. We will not do surveys or anything until after the property has sold. So like I said, it may stay as one, but wanted to know what the interest of the city of Westmoreland was in order to provide that annexation. If we could have water and also the sewer activity, and if not, then going back into Potawatomi County regulations. So we believe that then rural water district would still be available for those parcels there. And then also we've been in contact with KDOT about the access off of Highway 99 too. And so they are open to putting additional access points off of that. So it could be 1 into 3, so.
Well, I know Bob and I talked about this, and I've said for pretty much the whole time I've been on council that if you aren't growing, you're dying, and so I would love to grow and have more availability. My biggest issue right now is getting utilities to those properties to become part of Westmoreland. Because there's what appears to be a 25 acre plot between our property line and those 3 plots that we would need to go through. Because that's 4th Street it's 4th Street, isn't it? Yeah, 4th Street's where we come up with our utilities way back in the day, a long, long time ago. From what I understand, there was a planned development on the north side that got shut down for whatever reason. So at that point, we actually had a road in Westy, that was a Westy road, that was never really a road, that we actually vacated, I believe, 6-7 years ago? 5-6 years ago?
We finished cleaning it up, yes.
Yes. So it actually got vacated, but really the only real access point we have for utilities is coming off 4th Street, which that's our biggest problem right now, is that property that's in between Campbell and those 3 plots. If you found a developer that wanted to do this and was interested in doing this, I've talked to a few people on the council, not everybody because this really wasn't official yet, but I think we would be interested, because like I said, I think we need to continue to try to grow, because otherwise we're just going to fade away. But we have that problem. So we would need help getting through that issue. Because if all access is off 99, which I would prefer it wouldn't be, because 99 is kind of a mess up there because of the hills and everything else. It gets real nasty, especially if people are slowing down quickly and turning. That gets to be a kind of a danger, so I don't like that personally. If it had
Hopefully it would just be one.
right,
you know,
and
if that's the
and
case.
even up at because I can't remember what the name of that road is, up at the very top of that, the farthest north point, what road that is, but even if it had to come up there, it's going to be hard to say that that's part of the city of Westmoreland without a direct contact point.
And more than likely, it would not go that far. The county isn't, or the state isn't gonna allow it to be quite that close. Because
Gotcha.
right now, some of those access points are 200 feet, and it would be between 200 and 400 feet. So more than likely, it won't be up that high.
Because
So,
that whole section of 99 right there,
Yeah.
the way I remember it in my brain is very hilly
yeah.
and very gnarly.
Yeah, as you continue to incline there,
Correct.
so, yeah.
So I don't like that idea. If it had to be, whatever. But again, to really annex it into the city of Westmoreland, we've got to have an access point for utilities. And right now, we don't have that without going through someone else's property. I don't know what all you guys have thought about.
Was that 163 acres staying all ag then?
At this point,
At
is
this
that,
point.
yeah.
Well, can't we run stuff down west side of 99? We got a lift station right there. I know it probably won't handle it.
Well, we have a lift station, at the RV park?
Mm-hmm.
You could, but you'd still be going through their property.
Right, but it'd be clear on the edge of it. I mean, it's
Well,
right
either
right
way,
off the highway right away. I mean.
either way, right now, we don't have access to it.
Right.
And I'm not saying it has to come off 4th Street. It could come off 99 and go down, but then your access point to that whole, if it became a subdivision or just different lots, your only access point then is off 99. There's no access from inside town, which in my mind, and it's just me, I'm not a developer, so I don't know these things, but in my mind, if I was looking at those lots to buy, I would not want my driveway coming off 99 at that point, because that's a
And if it's
that's a
gonna be
danger.
developed into more than 3 to 5 houses, then it would become kind of a subdivision and only one access point into all of the
Right,
houses.
and I
too.
still get that even, but then you're adding even more traffic, turning off 99 into this subdivision, which causes even more of a traffic concern of,
More than likely, there would be 2 points, an in and
Correct.
an out kind of thing, so.
Which-
But
in that
Hopefully to
aspect,
avoid
I mean, and it may be something, if that was the only access point, because we couldn't get any access through that property to get to you, that may be something that Pot County needs to rethink the speed limits and those sort of things for that section of that property, if that's started,
Gotcha.
to lower that from, because I believe it's 65 right there,
Mhm.
isn't it? Do what?
And that,
State.
State, whatever,
That'd be a state. Right.
I don't know.
Now, you talking about access, if it was annexed into the city, it would be our responsibility? Or what are you talking?
No,
That would be
no,
up
that
to-
would not be our responsibility.
the
I'm
developer
just
anyway.
saying, I'm giving my opinion,
Right,
is all. Because really, we have nothing to do with it unless you guys come up with a developer that's willing to take the project on and figure out how to make it work. I would love, and I think the rest of us would like to have more coming to Westmoreland, correct?
Yes, we need more.
Correct.
and in the event that it wouldn't work for annexation, Plan B is I visited with Scott Schwinn too. So the capabilities of doing alternative septics out there is a possibility too. So
Right.
that's what my conversations with both Scott and Gray, that if it wouldn't work with city services, but you wanted the growth opportunity, then Plan B could be in that realm.
Oh, I think we
So-
definitely want the growth opportunity.
Right,
Definitely.
regardless, yeah.
Regardless
Yeah,
of how it happens.
okay,
I would love to find a way to give you access to those properties through anything other than 99, because I don't like the idea of those hills and 65-mile-an-hour traffic and having a whole new subdivision of people trying to turn through that traffic. That's my worry, right?
have you talked to that other landowner in between?
no, I have not yet.
No,
Mm-mm. No,
I don't think they'd be willing to sell and just have the whole thing.
And from my understanding,
You know him?
I don't know him.
I do.
I know the
So,
family.
Trevor, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Trevor? Yeah, I do know Trevor. So,
I
yeah.
I know it's in limbo from what I understand of what they want to do with it. But I don't know them personally.
Yeah.
to-
And I can do that too.
To
So
say
I do
that,
know them
but-
personally, so.
Um,
I know its mother really well, so maybe that would
Yeah.
really help.
I know on that west edge, closer to 4th Street, that property is not real great for anything. So, I mean, other than hunting, maybe. Because I believe it's a lower spot. You got the old creek line going through there, you got the tree line going through there. It's not great for crops, it's not great for animals, maybe for hunting. So,
Yeah, you
maybe.
got to watch your hunting too, being that close to residential area.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but
Yeah.
I think if you found the right people, I think the city would be very welcome to trying to do anything we could to help. Let's put it that way.
Okay. I have multiple developers interested, so I have
Absolutely.
always told all of them that they have to come to you. So
Absolutely.
if you're going that route, otherwise then they'll get in touch with Gray.
If they want to be annexed in.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
and that's up to them,
right,
right?
correct.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
But I wanted to make sure that it was
Absolutely.
okay with you guys before we even offered that.
Absolutely.
So I don't like to ask for forgiveness later, so.
I know through the last at least 7-8 years, we have tried multiple different times to find properties that we could develop and get more people in this town.
Okay.
And continue to grow, and that's all we're trying to do.
Perfect.
So if this happens to work, I think if there's a way we can make it happen to where we could help get through there. I mean, obviously, there would be, if we take sewer, water, anything utilities up there, obviously there'd be specials
Right.
on it to take care of it. The city doesn't have the funds, obviously, because you just heard the audit about our nice new pool. We don't have the funds to fund it ourselves, but we can certainly find a way to make it happen with specials and
Sure,
get that paid back in that direction.
Okay.
So,
perfect. Well, I've worked with a lot of the smaller communities, Oldsburg, Leonardville, several of those too. So I appreciate your time with your city councils.
absolutely.
So that's the biggest thing, is that I just wanted to come to you first before we even thought about this. If, like I said, we're not gonna market it and then come back around later if that's not gonna work, so.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna do a little bit more due diligence yet, so
Okay.
if it's okay, if I can kind of keep you in the loop.
Absolutely.
And we'll share kind of what the flyer ends up looking like as we get a little bit closer
Yeah.
before we.
Yeah, stay in contact with Amy and
Yeah,
Julie.
absolutely.
Julie will be back next week. Amy's
Thank goodness,
super
I know,
excited
right?
about that. Super excited.
Yeah, yeah,
But, and then they can get with me and
Perfect.
we can have conversations and bring up any other details that need to happen, be in front of the council and go from there.
perfect.
So,
Well, all of you have my contact information, so if you have some questions as we're moving ahead, that you have some concerns or some other issues, then just please let me know. Otherwise, we're kind of planning on an auction probably later on this summer. So,
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, let us know when it's gonna happen.
very good. I totally will do that, because we'll
Awesome.
probably either have it here or over in the South Florida Friends.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you. What do we got next?
Bylaws.
Do we have the bylaws?
In your packet.
Were they? Okay. Oh, yeah, I got them. Alright, so we got bylaw, planning and zoning commission bylaws. I believe Michelle went through all this.
She did.
I know she did.
We know she did.
You guys tell me what you want to talk about with it. Or if you're good with it, if you want to approve it, I'm perfectly fine with that as well.
Was there any changes from the original, or did they have any bylaws? Surely they had some.
They did, I know she went through it. Is it just the highlighted, the bold stuff that they changed? Does anybody remember what Michelle said? And I was hoping Michelle would be here, but
There isn't anything.
Yeah, there's no
bold or
highlighted.
highlighted.
there's some bold right in the beginning.
The very first part.
We can certainly wait until next meeting if you guys want, so Michelle could be here,
I mean, maybe
because she went through all this stuff.
it'd be better just to have
That's
her.
fine, let's put it as a
Just to
future
go over
agenda.
it. I mean, not that I don't trust what they did, 'cause
I don't either, but I'd like to know what
Yeah.
and if they changed.
That's fair.
anything. So, let's move that to future agenda, if everybody's okay with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
next meeting. We'll move on to D4, this is the Firefighters Relief Association, I think it is called. They have basically the volunteer fire department has a association that takes care of the volunteer firefighters if and when they have issues or concerns where they need to get paid back for something, or if they get injured on something and insurance doesn't want to cover those sort of things. This is what this group does. We had, in the last year, we had, there was 3 of us from the council that were on there. I was on there, and then we had 2 former council members on there that are no longer on the council. And we need to install 2 members to this. I have yet to do anything except sign 1 piece of paper. So it's not like this is a large ask or anything else. I just need 2 people to step up and say they will be part of this committee if and when they would ever need it.
Was I still on there? I was on there to begin
Were
with.
you on there? Because Patrick thought it was Jim and John.
No, I was on there. Or I was supposed to be. I mean, I volunteered for it.
Either
last
way,
time
Bruce
came
is
around.
volunteering.
So you're volunteering to be on
Sure.
there? Because it's really nothing.
Yeah, firefighter's relief, if I remember right, it's the money that the fire department gets from
Correct.
insurance policies.
Correct.
So, when I was on Holton Fire Department, that even paid for, I mean, if you was on there long enough, I forget how many years, you got a little retirement money out of it too.
A little
At the
bit.
end,
This
but
group
yeah.
hasn't ever used that portion
Haven't
of
done
it.
that.
It's been mainly for payback for out-of-pocket funds, some safety equipment that they had in their own
Can buy
trucks,
equipment
those
with
sort of
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
They basically got paid back for it. So if you're okay signing up for that, can I get one of you guys, or if you want to appoint one of the two that are not here?
I can, I don't, yeah.
So I'll move that we add Jesse and Bruce to the Fire Relief Committee.
Do we need to?
I think I should not say move, I will appoint them, and then I need a motion to approve my appointment.
All right, well, I move that we approve the appointment of Bruce and Jesse to the, are you still on it then too?
Yes, I will.
And
be.
you're still stuck, so
I'm
all three of
I've
you
been on it, so,
to the Fire Relief Committee fire, whatever,
okay.
scratch out the member part, the Fire Relief Committee.
Need a second on that?
Second.
Yes. All in favor?
I don't care.
Aye.
Opposed? Cool handbook, let's go ladies.
All right. You wanna do it? Go for it, Ashley.
Uh,
You did the work.
So realistically, Jesse and I just sat down and went through our old one and tried to update it as best as possible. Obviously, we can't fully update it because we don't have the entire pool yet. But
It's getting
what
closer.
I did, it is getting closer. What we did was anything that was changed, it's either highlighted if it's new or like strike out if we took it out. So if you guys went through it, basically for the training policy, we just added that we would do our best as a city to help coordinate those trainings. I may have forgot to do page 6 for the suits and stuff, because I thought we talked about that.
Well, we did a little bit, but I don't know if we ever.
So with I guess, let's ask the question, we can approve it later too.
Yeah.
With the lifeguard supplies and swimsuit policy, in the past, we've paid for 1 swimsuit for part-time and 2 suits for full-time lifeguards. I'm not sure if you guys wanna keep that or not, it's probably a good idea. And 1 tank top, I'm not really sure, we kind of talked about where to order, but I don't know for sure now. Where we've ordered in the past, you,
Julie's always done that.
Julie has, okay, so we can talk to Julie, she'll be back. She'll be back in time.
Yeah.
It'd be fine. I think the one thing we kind of discussed was like just how picky it was on like it has to be 1 piece or tankinis. A lot of the time, those lifeguard swimsuits are the bra like suits, and I'm not against that for lifeguards. It's not a bikini. It's not. So either I would just say it has to be a lifeguard suit. That's appropriate if we wanted to change that. But other than that, everything else, I think we didn't change anything on that, right? Other than just that one. And then for concessions, those, actually that highlighted area was already, we didn't really change anything on concessions because we didn't know what we were doing concession wise yet. So that'll have to be probably something that we come back to. Once we have a better idea on how that's gonna work. But, so really, the big thing is the admissions and stuff, we kept the same amount, like, the prices for 18 and older, 7 to 17, 6 and younger.
Where's the one for seniors?
I mean,
We can create one.
we could create one if you want to. So the strikeout, we took out the baby swimming in the baby pool because we don't have a baby pool, so that basically is what that is. We kept with, if they're dressed in street clothes and don't get in the pool, there's no reason for them to have to pay. I think in other pools, that's not the case, but I don't think that that would benefit us any. We changed the pool passes to a family pass being $150, that you can have, everyone in the immediate family up to 5, and then if there's more than that, each additional member is $25. Immediate family is parents and children 18 and under who are living in the home. We also kept in that if they're home from college that first year, then they can keep them on too. We took out the family pass with babysitter, or family with babysitter pass. Change the pool parties to basically just $100 an hour, $200 for a 2-hour party. We're gonna have to probably come back and look at the time frames because there's no lights in the pool like there has been in the past, since there can't be lights in the pool. So we may have to change times depending on how well you can see at night for pool parties. We added that the reservations have to be posted on the calendar to avoid the double booking. Still has to go through one of the 3, manager, assistant manager, a head guard. We just took out the public party thing because that can be, any special events can be posted ahead of time on social media and on the doors and stuff. Still no alcohol, still same qualities for a lifeguard. Basically the pool regulations and rules. We took out anything that said baby pool, which Megan did catch on, on page 8, so I guess I missed, on page 8 it had baby pool, so we need to take that out. Oh, the 3 different passes, there's only 2 different passes. And then, on page 12, which we haven't quite gotten there. So on number 4 of the pools and regulations, we basically just put absolutely no cell phones or cameras will be permitted in the showers and restrooms. I'm not sure, again, if we'll have anywhere to put them prior, but to take. And then, like I just said, the number 11 bullet needs to have baby pool taken out, since we don't have a baby pool. And then we did change the age to 10 and under have to be accompanied by an adult. Right, is not what we put on that. So that needed to be changed. And then we took out for the diving rules and no diving from the lifeguard stand because we won't have a lifeguard stand now, like we did. Took out baby pool rules, added for the discipline policy, just any instances will be logged. We have to do much better this year at logging everything. The pool closing policy, no rain checks. Basically, we added anything has to be done by a manager, assistant manager, or head guard. We didn't want to put that cell phones and iPads will not be permitted at all, but it needs to be limited. And then a staff needs to read and sign the handbook in front of the pool manager or city staff. We didn't really change emergency policies. The cool and inclement weather for the number 4, I wasn't sure where we need to go because we don't have that set up yet, so we'll have to change that when the time comes. In case of lightning, it's 30 minutes, not 20, or maybe it's 20 and not 30. I think it's 30. It is 30. The cool weather, we just took out the check with local radio station. I think we're gonna go a WIBW Weather Channel app is what they'll check, and that's what they'll go off of. That's also, easy to do. We added that we'll add a Facebook, add a post to Facebook if we do close on the city Facebook page, because I don't think we want to mess with the pool page. I think it'd just be easier coming from the city. I know that's a little bit more on you guys, but,
It's easy.
the swimming pool staff discipline policy, we kept on 19, the procedure for disciplinary action, anything big like disciplinary, we probably would prefer a city staff present. That way there's a little bit more. From what we have so far, they're very young, so it would probably be good to have some older. The grievance policy, anything like that, we basically just added, like took out city clerk and just said a city staff member. That makes it easier. I wasn't sure if this sexual harassment policy was the same as what the city office has, so I'm assuming it is from before, but we may just double check with that. So 21, so then go to 23 for the swimming pool manager. Just prepare the weekly work schedule for employees, making sure that there's always a manager, or assistant manager, or a head guard on duty. Then turn it into City Hall, then relay any changes as often as possible. We needed to make sure paydays are every other week on Friday, which I don't think that's changed, right? Every other week on Fridays.
I would assume that's what it was, cause
She
that's
wasn't here
what,
when we had
yeah,
the-
but that's what we
Oh.
have
That's what.
for us.
What it is now, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll probably just keep the same.
Yeah.
Okay. The essential job functions, that's just, I don't think we changed anything on those. So if you go to, I guess that's it, actually.
Yeah.
And then basically, we wanna make sure that this is signed in front of all of us, basically, like a manager and a city staff member, so. Preferably, we have a orientation day to where everything's signed, so. But that was that. I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to add to the handbook. It will look prettier once we actually go through it.
Yeah,
Take things
I
out.
would say, unless anybody else here has anything to add there, I would say, let's go ahead and clean it up.
Yeah.
Get rid of your stuff.
We're good with the changes, though.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Okay,
As long as you are, cause I know both of you guys worked on it. so,
okay.
Let's go ahead and clean that up, do the last little bits of changes you just found tonight.
Yeah.
And let's bring a final copy to next month.
We'll have a better idea with the layout by then too,
I
right?
would say bathrooms. right now.
And the bathrooms, okay.
Yeah, if we can get it either, cause they were supposed to open May, they're actually hoping to open June now, is that correct? We need to have this done next month,
Yeah, I mean,
so let's get it all cleaned up,
Okay.
get it done, so we can sign off on it. Any changes that anybody feels like they wanna have
Oh, yeah.
done, can
I'll
be done
touch base with the other two and make
through
sure.
this month.
Yeah.
And we can
Okay.
clean it up, and
Sounds
be
good.
done.
We'll know more the end of the month, but more than likely June, July,
I'm thinking even later than what they thought earlier.
unless they really move on things here in the next couple weeks, yes. 'Cause
They were ahead of
The,
schedule.
the roof has to be on, and the whole interior has to be grouted, and then it has to set for 30 days, and we're not even close to pulling walls yet. So, we'll know more towards the end of the month, but
Okay, well, let's
I
still
would
plan
that's
on
what
it.
I would anticipate.
Can I don't know.
Quickly,
I didn't know, like with discipline, like you had mentioned, like you record discipline infractions. Do you guys have any actual policy to enforce consequences with that? You know, and I'm honestly thinking from the perspective of like, I remember when Coda was a lifeguard and you have kids that are there every single day, they're probably over the age of 10 and they're doing the same things every day, but if there's no way to enforce, you know, like
Yeah.
those rules, like, and it's just an idea, like ChatGPT is great
So,
at
Yeah, on it,
suggestions for it, like.
in the pools and pool rules and regulations, the discipline policy is like the first violation's a warning. Second is a 15-minute like sit out from the pool. Third is dismissal from the pool for 1 day, and then fourth would be either out for the week or out for the rest of
Okay,
the
that's,
season.
that was what I
So,
was curious,
yes.
was it in there just cause it.
I was like, I'm sure it's in here, but
Yeah,
I need to
it
go find
would
it.
make sense to.
And I also think that, like, in my opinion, it needs to also depend on the severity of what the discipline is, or the
Yeah,
action,
yeah.
but that can be discussed
To a point.
to an
yes,
extent. Yeah.
But we also have stated many, many times in our meetings that we have ordinances for a reason, we have rules for a reason,
Yeah.
and we need to follow.
So,
So if we make exceptions for one, then we have to make exceptions for everyone, so I'm not a big favor of making exceptions.
I'm just saying if they're
for
fighting, they're leaving.
everyone. I'm just saying,
But that's also the old lifeguard in me.
I get it.
I also was the one that made kids sit out and hold hands because they wouldn't get their hands off each other, so.
Thank you.
Yes.
Alright, so you guys are gonna come back with
Okay.
that next month, all cleaned up and prettified. Sweet. That's all we have for new business, old business. All we had was future agenda items. Do we have anything else that we need to add? We added the bylaws. Might as well put the pool handbook back on for future. What do you got?
Can we hire people?
Do you guys trust Ashley and I to hire?
Can you hire people without that being complete though?
Well, this,
Cause that's what they gotta read, right?
I think we need that done.
Yeah.
okay.
So I would say you could, I would say you
Can
could
we interview
verbally,
people?
verbally say that we will hire you
Okay.
as soon as this is done.
Okay.
If you are sure that's the person you want for that,
Okay.
then, but I think this handbook needs to be done and
That's
signed
fair.
off on.
That's fair. We just wanna get us, get started
I
at
totally
least,
get that, and I'm with you there.
so,
So I would say you could tell them, yes, as soon as this is
approved.
approved,
Okay.
you can be hired.
Okay.
Obviously, we won't start paying until the pool's open, so,
Yeah.
and they need to understand that as well,
Yes.
that we don't know exactly what day that's gonna open. So, as much as we tried to make it all happen, so. Alright, moving on to reports. Hey treasurer,
Oh, hey,
you had a busy month.
yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, did you have any questions on the treasurer's report first? No? Good, nothing, I mean, actually, Alex went over most of it. A lot of everything that's in the report, you know. So with that being said, all I have, and it's only $550, so I know I probably don't have to get your approval, but it is for the Jayhawk, support hours, renewal of their contract. Is that, I mean, believe me, I really used them this last couple of months. So I'm definitely getting my 8 hours, and and I know Julie used it too, so.
I would say,
You okay with that?
I would say go ahead and make a motion that
Okay.
just approve it, just to be on the safe side.
Just to, is it, what is it?
It is, Jayhawk Software Annual Assurance and 8 and support hours.
I move that we approve that right there.
I know, I don't even know how to simplify that.
Second.
I'll
but yeah.
second.
Okay,
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
okay, and then the last thing I had was, we've got the signature cards. It looks like, because once we approve the minutes for last month, we can go ahead, sign those, I'll get them to the bank, and then Ashley is off, the cards in your back on leave. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know if we need to discuss that, but you're out. And I think that's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for treasurer slash clerk?
Yeah.
Treasurer slash clerk?
I don't know about.
Slash
I don't
all of
really
the
have
above.
City office?
You are the
Entire
city office.
Yes.
You're the city office.
Alright, Bob, you're up.
Any questions on my report? Go through quick, on the utilities, I do, drinking water, 2 drinking water samples every month that has to be sent to KDHE. They are no longer getting to KDHE through the mail, so I'm either going to have to start driving them to Topeka or using UPS or FedEx, depending on the cost, to get these samples within 30 hours to the KDHE That's just something that popped up this week. My samples didn't get there this month, so I'm gonna.
Cause the mail's too slow.
It was way too slow, and I was driving into Wilmette, I had been using Wilmette post office, cause our post office definitely cannot get them in time. I wasn't having any issues until this week, and then KDHE sent a notification out that said that the mail is no longer doing afternoon routes, so, you're gonna have to figure out a different way to get your samples to us.
Is there any couriers that work this area?
There are, but the reliability is questionable.
About the same as the post office?
Yeah, that's what I've been told, so you're better off driving.
Well, I guess if you gotta run them down, you gotta run them down.
I'm gonna try UPS, overnight UPS first, but other than
Cheaper
that,
gas.
I gotta figure my time over what it costs to send, so.
So gas in your time.
And being gone 2 hours, I'm already driving to Salina 4 times a year, so that puts more time away, but I'll figure it out.
Does it have to be a city employee? Cause I go to Topeka twice a week for work. I can just drive it there. I don't mind doing that.
I don't know.
I was like, or I'm not like,
We'd have to check
Okay.
legalities with
It's
it,
like,
we just
I
have to check legalities of it. It
give me an
sounds like
excuse to get out of the office, so.
Yeah, I mean, to
You
be
have to get
honest,
certified.
I mean, it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
Certified
It doesn't, you don't have to be certified to deliver it for us.
Yeah, no, it's like, maybe no chain of custody, maybe I intimidated or something.
I get a whole new title. Water deliverer.
Yeah, I quit my job.
I will check into that, cause it would be really no different than entering an agreement with the courier service, so.
Yeah.
If you had,
And if he's in
I will check into that,
Brad's.
Oh, there.
if you would be interested.
Yeah.
We can come
Okay,
up
no
with some
problem.
sort of solution. The pool, like I said, they're still forming on walls, they're not much further than what me and you looked at first of the week. They said, all right, we have a progress meeting the 22nd, the week of the 22nd, something like that, and they would know a better time frame. But we're definitely not opening Memorial Day weekend. The pool will be operational, but we will not have anything to
Can you get the
work out.
contract found by then and see what the deadline was and what happens after that?
I don't think there was a deadline.
No deadline?
Fine.
Okay.
No, it was just that we would be open this season.
Okay.
But we'll know more towards the end of the month, but I'm confident we're not opening Memorial Day weekend unless there's gonna have to be a gazillion things has to
There's no
happen.
way.
There's no way.
Doing it.
There's no way.
You're doing
I was
it.
just up there.
You,
There's no way.
you have to have faith.
I'm saying it'll open, it's just not open when they said it was gonna open.
I'm swimming. On Memorial
We're
Day.
farther along than we were last year.
You're gonna get scuffed up by the concrete.
I don't even care.
They were confident that the pool would be operational before Memorial Day, where the guards could be training and could be learning and stuff like that, but.
You just won't have the bathtubs.
We won't be able to have an operation to do anything.
Porta potties and
And a hose.
hose to wipe
For your-
everyone down.
Great old Hey, that would guarantee they take showers.
It's
If we're spraying them down.
Amy, that's part of your new job, since Amy's coming back.
Wait, Mike wants, Mike.
I think we need to go over job responsibilities and roles, please. I'll add that to the agenda.
Go ahead, Bob.
As you know, we auctioned off a lot of unused equipment to update our fleet through Purple Wave. The only thing we did not sell with the list of things that was up for sale was the 3/4 ton truck. That loan was paid off in 2012. The bank never released the lien, and past city staff never caught it. And so I'm trying to get a lien through GMAC released, so we can finish auctioning it off. So I still have it to auction off, but anyways, what did sell, we brought in $85,255 that would go back into the equipment reserve. 5,000 of that went to a utility trailer. We talked about this last month, about moving forward with putting out the bid to replace the excavator, which what I'm seeing at top dollar, $77,000 would be the most that we would be spending for the excavator that we'd be bidding out. So that would leave a few $1,000s left, and then we would have the old excavator to put up for auction after we receive the new one. If you guys would be so willing.
That's
He
kinda
got-
why you brought it up.
He got quiet, and that usually me.
Kinda why you brought it up.
You said up to 77,000.
I believe that from.
Or I guess
my-
do we just say
we just put it out to bid.
Okay, I move that we.
I'm confident that we would stay under the 80,000.
And we're still less than what we approved in the very beginning,
For that.
for everything,
Oh, oh.
because of how much we made off.
Oh,
selling our
yes.
old equipment.
I got you. Okay, well, I move that we allow Bob to go out to bid for an excavator. Is there any details on that?
JCB 50Z-1.
That, a JCB C.
50Z-1.
It's in the paperwork if you wanna read it.
I was on the wrong page, my bad. Yeah.
Me too. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you
I don't have anything else unless you guys have something. To go back to the equipment, that should put us 20 plus years before we need to be looking at any equipment, as long as it's being taken care of. Obviously, I'm taking care of it. The lightest things that I could see is a mower a few years
That's
down
what
the
I
road.
was
So
gonna say,
we're
mowers
not looking
maybe.
at any big purchases. Stuff we have purchased have been working out great. It's great. So we've downsized the fleet and cut our costs down quite a bit.
go. Yeah, new truck looks nice
And-
too.
yeah.
New truck and trailer. Excellent. Anybody have anything else for Bob? Hey, Amy, you're the clerk. You got a clerk's report this month?
It's all clear.
Or we
Next
gonna-
month.
We're gonna wait
Next
till next
month.
That
month?
clerk's just paying, yeah, we'll wait till next month.
Sweet.
She wants to move that to next month's agenda, please.
Yes.
Move that to future agenda.
Yes.
please. Bruce, you got anything for streets?
That was Bob on the corner down there at, State and Walnut. Had him take some dirt out of there, widen that, turn the corner up and went to the east a little bit.
By the
Put some
bridge.
gravel in there and get it ready to put asphalt on whenever we do that, so that turned out pretty decent.
Yeah, I like it.
They're talking like they're a couple months out yet.
Couple
Yeah,
months.
once they do, we'll have some street closures on, East Keene and South Walnut for, it'll be a day of inconvenience where there won't be any traffic allowed once they do a total pavement. But it'll be really nice when it's done.
How's nice
I don't even know where I live.
It's unfortunate that there is some housing going in right there, but I cannot wait 15 years. Or however long it's going to take for that housing division to go in, so we've got it's really rough if you drive that every day.
Don't get me started on the housing there, so. Utilities, Megan's not here. Planning and zoning, Michelle's not here. How about schools, parks, and cemetery?
Actually, Bob would like to speak on this.
All right.
So we received that grant through the Realtors Association. They are going to be bringing, I don't remember what the total amount was, it was close to 3,000. Do you remember, Bruce, what that was for that Realtors group?
Was it 25?
25 to 3,000. Anyways, they're bringing 30, 40 people to work for 5 to 6 hours for the day. So we purchased 3 picnic tables. We didn't realize how many people they're bringing, so we purchased some picnic tables that they would refund us for and they would put together, but they're now saying that that's telling us 30 to 4 people, that's not gonna take 4 to 5 hours, so. Jeremy's Lenning's been the spokesperson for the group. And so their thoughts were they wanted to come in and they wanted to replace all the boards to the seating of the portable bleachers at the ball diamond, the main ball diamond. They're also talking about staining the grandstand bleachers, and then they're also talking about painting the interior of the bathrooms of the bathrooms. At the interior. Next to it.
Do you ever say what Realtors Association that is?
I've never-
It's probably Flint Hills, I would say, either that or the state.
So
Talking about the bathhouse at
the
ballpark?
bathrooms at the ball.
Yeah, ballpark.
Inside, so they basically, need your approval to authorize for them to do this work, but then we'll have to pay out for this stuff. I'm gonna have to have this stuff purchased ahead of time. So the cost to replace the seating for the bleachers is $550, that's a rough estimate. To stain the grandstand, that's another $500, and then to paint the interior, that's $250, that's supplies and materials.
And then they,
Plus the 3 picnic tables that we spent $3,000 on.
but then they'll pay us back.
They will
for
pay
it.
us back,
Up
and
to, well, and he
and
said
he-
determine
he says that they think they can come up with even more money than what they awarded us.
through the parks.
Once if you guys approve this tonight, we send this information to them, and they believe that they can go above and beyond to pay for this.
Cause he has that parks fund, I think is what he was saying.
Yeah, some of the,
Like the extra.
one of the picnic tables was being paid through the park fund.
Yeah. Which the picnic tables we would use,
We have
not
one-
just up
we
there,
have-
but.
We have one purchased for the pool, one purchased for the pool playground, and one purchased for down here at the ball diamond.
I think you did 4.
We just did 3. Cause I think that's where the 3,000 came in, is how much the grant was.
That makes sense. I mean, I think it's cool that they're willing to do it, and it would look sharp. It would help us out.
Help Bob out too.
He doesn't have to do it.
Right.
I mean, you'll probably do it when they're there.
Well, only thing I would say is that you don't have any guarantee you're getting paid back this money.
The grant we get, we
Anything
were,
above and beyond,
right.
you're assuming you're going to get paid back.
Well, even if not, we
But you're
had,
gonna need to understand when you make a motion to approve this, that there is no guarantee you're getting paid back for it.
right.
So that needs to be an understanding in the motion that it's implied that it will be paid back.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Cause we already got the tables purchased, right, or did we?
I had to get them
You did.
coming, so I knew I got them in time.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We knew that money was a guarantee.
Right, well, and even then, with the extra, we have that too, so that's not.
How much was it
Yeah,
above and
how much
beyond the
would be,
grant?
They didn't say, they just said that they felt like that they could, I was told that they felt like they could come above and beyond what the initial grant was.
But you had
Right, but.
500 and what, 250?
Yeah,
250.
so there's
So
well
1250.
over 1,000.
So my only thing is too is, I kind of discussed it also, is I don't know that cost-wise it's worth, with the bleachers. Like, I don't know that it's worth changing out the wood on the bleachers when it's gonna happen again. Which Bob has said that multiple times too, cause there's no support under the,
They're 16 foot long, and there's outside support and middle support, there's nothing else in between.
Right. But there's a few of them that are sagging pretty over.
right. The other.
Get you a year or two out of it, basically.
True, so the other option would be is do we get rid of those and purchase aluminum bleachers? I mean, we have a lot of seating down there that realistically, probably more than enough seating down there now because there's no high school games that get played there, like there used to be.
No, but even the rec games get
They
a
do,
decent amount of.
there is
I mean,
decent,
there's
but I
people
don't know, is
from-
it
From
worth,
the bathrooms all the way around to the concession stand.
yeah, is it worth spending the money to change the wood on the bleachers, or would it be more worth looking at potentially getting rid of those and getting aluminum bleachers? And that doesn't have to necessarily be a full-blown city thing, we can talk to the rec and see if they would be interested in going in parcels, I don't know how much they are, did you?
You're 2,500 to 6,000-ish.
So I don't know, that's just my only thing with that 500. Right.
Only thing I would say is that your time frame is very short for this season.
You're not wrong.
So if we have people that are interested in doing work for us on basically the cheap,
Right. Which,
I
and
don't have a
then,
problem with doing it this year, getting through a year or two, and then
looking.
getting into details about
Okay.
upgrading. at
And
a
that's fine too, I
future
just
point,
wanted to
too.
throw that out, like,
But we need to make sure it doesn't get just forgotten about until all of a sudden March and April come around and, oh, we were gonna do bleachers,
Right,
we need to be thinking about it in the fall.
that's fine. So we're looking at what, did we say,
1250.
1250?
No.
I don't know how we need to word it though.
1300, sorry, 1300.
My math is great also.
Cause you said 550 for the bleachers, right? Not
Yeah, it's 1,300.
Okay. So I move.
It's your motion.
I know, I gotta figure out how to word it. I move that we allow the purchase, is that what it needs to be? Of up to $1,300 for stain, paint, and
It's materials, supplies.
materials and supplies for the Realtors Association projects, potential projects, with the understanding that we may or may not be reimbursed for that.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
So there's a second half to this. So, Jeremy believes that he can fundraise the money to replace all the fencing around the ball diamond. So he asked me that if I would inquire that the council would authorize me to get estimates to replace the fencing and make repairs to the fencing that would keep the fencing from being damaged again, or at least less likely. I cost estimated 70 grand.
Sounds about right.
Which is bad. It is bad.
Well, if he just wants an estimate, then you can give him an estimate.
I'm not
If he wants
spending
a-
money, so if you got
If he
time
wants
to
a
do it.
true bid from like actual companies, that's gonna require a little bit more. But if he just wants an estimate, then you have enough information to give him that.
Yeah, I mean, I can give him that without, well, the problem with that, I don't like bothering a bunch of companies with estimates that really
Absolutely.
don't have no plans, so.
Absolutely.
It brings up, the next thing it was to talk about replacing the lights, so several years ago, I struggled to find a company to come in, I brought them in, then it was $180,000 to replace the lights.
Yeah, we talked about that many years ago.
And so we're probably, I guesstimate 250 to 300,000 now to replace the lights, and so I don't like bothering companies, especially these high dollar amounts, to get their hopes up, and then.
I agree.
And then we don't do nothing.
On the lights, I think you need to check with Evergy, see if they got some kind of a grant or something. They don't?
No, we went through all that the last time.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is we need to get away from the lights that are there and go to more of an LED.
I mean, we're at a point now that the poles gotta replace, the office lights gotta replace, and all the electrical lines gotta be replaced, so
It's-
you're
it's all
talking a major
super old.
project, and it probably needs to happen together, because you put a bunch of fence up and now you're gonna take it all down to run lighting.
Well, I would say, going back to the fencing, I'd say if all he wants is a estimate, then you can give him an estimate. I mean, that's all it is just an estimate. If he wants actual bids and wants actual money, actual legit money numbers, that's gonna take a whole different conversation, because we have a very large project that we're paying for now already, so.
He just wants an estimate on materials, right?
Materials and labor, I'm sure, installation and everything.
Yeah, it'd be
He
everything.
doesn't wanna come up with volunteers to put it up.
I don't think you want volunteers for that
You know,
fence.
that's not a very smart move. As long as you've got a bunch of volunteers, that's all they do is fencing.
Yeah.
I think you got a liability concern there.
You've got supports that gotta have to be welded in, or may have to pull everything out completely and start off anew, because just to try to correct the problems that we're having with the fence being used as a backstop, that's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, and I can dig a little bit deeper, but the school just had all their lighting replaced to LED. That was all through an Evergy grant that paid for every penny of it. So I don't know if Evergy runs like the same type of thing with municipalities, like, but it might be something, worth like dabbling. I can see if there's anything out there as well, because if they'll pay for it. pool.
If you want to, that'd be great.
If they won't pay for the lights, at least maybe they could do the labor of putting them up if they come up with lights.
That can easily be a.
But yeah, they did it all.
With the rec.
They wrapped it because I think they've got people.
They're with the school now though too. They have their own.
That's your deal. I'm out. Mine's in college. You're out. All right, anything else for pools, parks, and cemetery?
I do.
All right, let's keep going.
It seems like in the last 2 weeks, I'm having a lot of problems with, UTVs, golf carts driving all over properties, cemetery, RV park. I've got them on camera, so I've talked to several of them, but this may be an ongoing issue, I don't know, this year, where we may have to start posting some stuff and.
Do we have an ordinance about it now that they have to stay on the streets? I can't remember what it says.
I don't know what it says. I mean, when you're driving around through graves
Okay, let's,
and all over driving park, I mean, I think it's just,
let's dig into it. If we need to adjust ordinances, I would like to have the backing of that.
Yeah.
So that we can actually do something, because right now, if we don't have a ordinance that they're breaking, we really are just flapping our gums and saying, shame on you.
I can check it real quick.
Did all of them you talked to have their city permits?
Yeah.
So at least we know who they are.
Revoke them.
But that's what, $5 a year?
50 one time.
50 one time, that's right.
I can look it up here real quick if I know.
He's gonna.
Wrapped up.
I'm joking. We're still good. It's all going work.
Because if it's in the ordinance, and Bob, if you find out it's in the ordinance,
It is.
then send it some summer. Let's get them going. I mean, that's what we have ordinance for, so.
It says right here, public street, highway, within the core city limits, Westmoreland.
Which the cemetery is now part of the city limits, so.
Right.
And they say they have to stick to it.
So if you have their info, then.
Maybe I told them, there's really no one.
Yeah, that's it.
So.
Next time you catch it.
Yeah, it's $5 fine.
Yeah, next time you catch it, send it directly to summer. Have it get started.
No, I told them, there's no warning,
Yeah.
you're straight, 10 letters, so they apologized, and that one says they didn't do it again, so.
Okay.
I noticed a lot of tracks and stuff out of our parts, it's not me.
Okay. Well, whatever we're gonna do. If it's in the ordinance, then just like we said with everything else, if it's in the ordinance, there's no.
I was just making you aware that
Absolutely.
this started becoming a problem all of a sudden.
Let's
Now it's nice.
get it in front of summer, because she will not accept it, so. Anything else for pool, parks, and cemeteries? All right. Flint Hills Regional Council, Michelle's not here, do you know anything?
No.
Okay. I don't have anything, for mayor wise, attorney wise. I can't remember what she said. She had a couple cases going, but nothing real extreme.
They have like 3 cases, so.
Yeah, 2 cases, what she said, I think. But otherwise, she didn't have anything real important. So that's all of that. Do we have any reason for executive session? Hearing none, I need one more motion.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any conversations about that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.